Welcome to the Gryffingear parent meeting. This is a repeat of the meeting we did in person, just putting this online for those that missed it or that might want to check it out again. And let's start. So my name is Patrick Brophy. I am the robotics coordinator at TPAA. I used to be a teacher for 11 years, and now I'm working at Lockheed Martin as a software engineer, but I'm also helping out with robotics right here. With me helping me out and as a team, we have Miss Sandoval and Miss Barnes, both TPAA teachers and that are advisors on the team. And we don't just have advisors, we have mentors. So a big mentor is Pat Cooney from Boeing. He's coming and helping out with robotics. We have Victoria Ayala from Relativity Space, and she's alumni from the school and helping out virtually. We've also had help from Monica from NASA and others to be determined. We have a bunch of student leaders too. There's like 12 of them. And there's the list. So our agenda is on the slide right here, going over what TPAA, first at TPAA, and some of our season timeline here. First, I'd like to start off with a video explaining FIRST.
Dean Kamen founded FIRST in 1989. He found that students and young children could be inspired to invent themselves. With the creation of FIRST, a whole generation would be introduced to creating technologies.
FIRST is an inclusive robotics community that prepares young people for the future. Through hands-on, engaging robotics challenges, FIRST ignites passion in STEM for kids ages 4 through 18.
Once you get the challenge, you figure out your game plan.
You make a robot and you code on it.
There's nothing better than seeing your robot on the field playing for the first time. They're all there like, is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? And then when it works, it's the best feeling ever.
Throughout each of our programs, students embrace FIRST's core values.
Discovery. Innovation.
Impact.
Inclusion.
Teamwork.
Fun.
At face value, FIRST is a robot competition, but at the end of the day, it's so much more than that.
We learn a lot about leadership and how to communicate with others, problem solving,
working together, helping other teams.
Our mentors teach us not just about STEM, but about life.
I think it's incredibly important for youth to see careers in science and engineering as a possibility for them.
FIRST actually taught me that I'm capable of doing anything that I set my mind to.
In FIRST, every student can go pro. It's a really cool way to step into your future.
I am FIRST.
Yo soy FIRST.
I am FIRST.
I am FIRST.
So what's great about that video is it kind of shows you that FIRST it's bigger than just the team. It's these competitions are bigger. I kind of equate it to like college level competitions. You're going to see a lot of teams coming from all over the world and these big events. So FIRST is from FIRST headquarters. It's a global robotics community preparing young people from the future. It started by Dean Kamen. He was the creator of the Segway. There's a water filtration system. So a big inventor here. And his idea was like, hey, a lot of students, they know celebrities, they know athletes, but they don't know scientists. They're not as excited about science and technology as they are about athletics. So let's combine the two and make a competitive science STEM event here. And that kind of gives us FIRST. And FIRST is a big program. It's not just, local high schools. It's global. You have hundreds of thousands of students and mentors and thousands of events all over the world. These numbers were pre-COVID, but it gives you the scope here. It's not just the local thing. It's not just in our community in the States. It's global. And the challenges go all the way up to a world championship level. So let's look at this. FIRST has they have 3 different levels of FIRST right here, but the one we're going to focus on is called FIRST Robotics Competition, or FRC. So this is the bigger size robots. These are 120 pounds. They have a new game every year. You're competing in a court that's about the size of a basketball court. And the competition season is very limited, where we actually get a new game in January with competitions going March through April. So it's a bigger event, and I'd like to play a video explaining FIRST. So here we go.
FIRST Robotics Competition is one of 3 engaging FIRST programs.
FIRST Robotics Competition is a robotics competition for high school age students where they self-design and construct semi-autonomous competitive machines.
Manufacturing the robot, working with metal, working with wood, prototyping, electronics for soldering.
You're learning together, and then you go to competitions where you get to see what you worked hard on.
There's no blueprint. We get a few rules and guidelines to follow, and then it's up to the students to find something that works.
There's nothing better than just seeing your robot on the field playing for the first time. They're all there like, is it gonna work? Is it gonna work? And then when it works, it's the best feeling ever.
You have mentors that are actually in the field that can tell you, oh, this is why this works, and this is the science behind it. And you're like, oh, wow, that makes so much sense.
They do a great job, not just about STEM, but about life, how to go through college, how to go through, a tough, physics class.
At face value, FIRST Robotics Competition is a robot competition, but at the end of the day, it's so much more than that.
People ask me like, oh, you build robots? I said, no, we're really running a business and all the things that go along with that.
We deal with a lot of marketing, social media,
problem solving, working in groups.
I'm learning how to communicate with people, how to reach out to local businesses.
So we kind of have robotics as the starting point, but we branch out to different areas and expand.
So the ultimate goal every year is always to get to the first championship.
The first championship is basically like the Olympic for robots.
There's hundreds of teams from all over the world there, and you get to see some of the best teams that exist.
It's very competitive, but you're friends with the people that you're going against. It's like a sport, but in its own way, it's better than a sport.
Being part of FIRST, it's really changed my life and, how I think about myself, how I think about others.
Participating in FIRST actually taught me that I'm capable of doing anything that I set my mind to.
FIRST has really inspired me to give back. In my old elementary school, I'm trying to help their robotics program that just started this year. I want those kids to have the opportunity to learn about STEM. There are scholarships for colleges, universities, as well as technical programs.
It also looks really good on the actual application to be on FIRST.
FIRST does a really great job trying to open programs to make sure that you can actually accomplish anything in STEM, no matter where you're from, your background, your language, or anything like that.
I really do consider myself part of the STEM community, and I couldn't be more prouder to say that.
My favorite thing about FIRST is how powerful of a program it is.
I think it's pretty cool that the whole community can actually come together and find something in common.
FIRST is the future.
FIRST is accomplishment.
FIRST is passion.
FIRST is inspiring.
FIRST is changing my story.
All right, there we go. So that's a little bit about FIRST. You can check out more later. We had students right here. You'd hear from them, but if I don't have them in this video, so ask your kids or come into a meeting. Let's talk about Team Gryffingear 5012. So this is the FRC team at the Palmdale Aerospace Academy. It's our 10th season. We had 11th season, really. We had pre-rookie. So some of our accomplishments, first year, we were rookie all-star twice, going to world championships. I think we qualified 4 years in a row or 5 years in a row, something like that. And in 2015, we were world champions, part of the 4-team World Champion Alliance. So to understand the scope of that, it's like you had about 3,000, 3,500 teams at that time, and the top 600 or so go to the World Championships, and then they get picked teams of 4 alliances and during the playoff rounds, and we are fortunate and to be on that alliance and world champions. So fun experience. But beyond that, it's multiple awards we've won, other regionals we've won, and it's a year-round team. So it's experienced success over the years, and it's sustained over the years and still keeps going. I mean, we have about 50, 60 students right now interested in the team. So a little bit of the timeline here. Usually in the summer, as a year-round team, we're working on off-season projects. So this year, it's some shop organization. In your fall, August, December, doing recruitment, training, outreach events, just a lot of prep, maybe some off-season competitions, really to prep for the season that starts on January 7th with kickoff. And that's when the new game is revealed and the time starts to build your robot and get ready for the regionals. So January, February, we have what we call build season. It's before the competitions start. March and April, your competitions, there's about 6-7 weeks of competitions, and we'll go to 2 or 3 of those. And then April 19th is our World Championships in Houston, Texas. If we qualify at one of those competitions, we can go on to Worlds. And then after that, just wrapping up the season and starts all over. So when do we meet as a team? What do meetings look like? Usually the summers as needed. August, December, or off-season time, we've been meeting Friday and Saturday from these times here, and Saturday's kind of optional. It kind of works that way with mentors. I don't work on Friday, and it gets around other staff meetings, but sometimes we meet more as needed. Now, when build season starts in the spring, January, we're going to be meeting more. Expect 3 to 4 days a week, but we're figuring out schedules to see what works best, and meetings will go longer too. March and April, that's competition season. We're meeting just that much, maybe more, get ready for the competitions. We got to get work done. So we just get it done. And then, hey, competition season, whenever our season ends, whether it's after Worlds or after the last regional, we will kind of wrap up and slow down. So important dates to look at, and some of these were up here before. Kickoff, big one right there, January 7th, Saturday. In the morning, we'll be at school with a reveal event. So you'll see the new video live streamed on Twitch, and we'll get the manuals, and we'll be day one brainstorming and learning, coming up with ideas what to do for our robot. Beyond that, we have some regionals coming up, and we know our first one's going to be this Aerospace Valley one. That's March 19th to April 1st. That's Eastside High School nearby in Lancaster. So easy trip for us, very local, so we don't need hotel rooms. Our goal is to go to at least one more regional. So we're targeting these 3, Port Hueneme, Los Angeles, and San Diego, to be determined what we get into. And then we might go to a third one depending on availability and depending how things look. So keep these dates in mind, especially Worlds right here if we qualify, and especially this Aerospace Valley one. It's nice if if you can be available for that time. These events are open for the public too. It's free, so parents, please come by, come watch. It's great. Student expectations here. We've gone over this with the students, but your grades matter. And we want you to do well in school. We want you to follow the school rules here. We want you to keep everyone happy and follow the team handbook. It's just be good. Respect goes around. Mentors, students, parents, school staff, keep everyone happy. Just we talk to your other teachers. We talk to other people around here. So we want you to represent well in the school and in the community. And I don't want, when we talk to other students, other teachers, we want to hear good things about what the Gryffingear students do. So please keep that in mind. And also check communications. It's a lot happens on Slack, Google Classroom, through emails, and it's a lot. But, we got a lot to do. Parent expectations. So how do you help out, right? One of the big things is helping us make sure we're on-time transportation to and from meetings. We have teachers here that have worked long days, and then they have to keep going with the meetings. They are putting a lot of time to support your students. So if we can watch those times, make sure students can be picked up on time, that'd be great. Respect the team mentors, students, school leaders, and students here. We're all working hard. It's a complicated business here, and we're doing as much as we can. We're doing what we can to help your students. So help us out. Also, just talk to us early. If you have questions, we'll put contact information of the advisors. Please email myself, Miss Barnes, and Miss Sandoval. Go to us first. We'll solve it. And there's also other ways. So like, how can you help through the parent boosters and outreach events and bringing stuff into the shop? There's a Slack. You can check those out later. One last video to play. I want to talk about mentoring and the value of mentoring and volunteering for teams. Oops. Well, I guess I didn't set that one up right.
To be a volunteer, you don't need any technical skills. There's many opportunities for everyone. There's always someone that can help you out and teach you what you need to do.
There are a whole host of things a volunteer can do. You can do field reset, you can be a judge, you can be a referee.
To be a first volunteer doesn't really require a whole lot of skills. It's a very fairly simple job that anyone can assist with.
When I'm not working with First, I am camping. I love the outdoors.
When I'm not working with First, I'm actually a front-end developer.
When I'm not in First or volunteering, I play multiple instruments. I like reading books and also just learning whatever I can, such as web development and coding and designing.
Anyone can come to the table and help. Anyone can sign up, any age.
I think everyone should be a volunteer because of the many opportunities and all the people that you'll meet.
You can come from any station in life. And as long as you're willing to give the passion to put yourself forth into jumping into something that you may not know 100% about, just be willing to learn. It doesn't matter what you can or can't do. Come. We can certainly use you.
All right. So, you know, one of the things about First here is we rely on volunteers. We rely on those mentors or event volunteers or just help in any way possible. Like I'm a volunteer here. I'm not getting paid to do this. I've been volunteering for about 10 years in First and helping out teams or volunteering at events or setting up events. A lot of stuff in FTC and not just FRC. There's a lot of people that have put a lot of time into this. They take their vacation time to go travel across the country to go to events. So there's dedication behind this, but there's levels too. It's sometimes I just need people to help with check-in, and there's ways to help out to make these events smooth. So some ways you can help. One way is to mentor teams. So we need some help on the team. We need some adults to come in here to kind of lead students here. So it's not always technical stuff. You don't have to know how to build a robot or use shop tools. We need technical and non-technical people. We have people, we work on stuff like business plans. We work on imagery or creating art stuff. And sometimes it's just people that can organize and check in on kids, high schoolers, people that are willing to work with this and ask questions and hold those students accountable. It really helps out. You don't even have to be, you can be regular. You can come in as needed, as available. Like mentors don't have to be there at every meeting. There's mentors that can do one-offs. I mean, we can even do virtual mentors too. So, there's ways to be event volunteers. When we go to those competitions, you want to help out the events, please do it. Or events that we host at our school. Sometimes there's training available. If you want to volunteer at the school, you will have to do the volunteer packet, but we can get you those details later. This point, I'd have the parent boosters come up, but if you need more information, please talk to Miss Anaya. And thank you for watching. Here's our emails. Again, if you have any questions, email all three of us. That's the best way, not just me. All three of us. One of us will respond. It's probably the easiest way to get the communication done. All right, folks. Well, that's it. Thank you.